Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing this classic smoky eye look. To start off, I'm using my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, which is my favorite primer of all time currently. I really like how tacky it makes the skin, and I'm going in on my eyes first with the NARS Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. I always go in with concealer first on my eyes before I do any eyeshadow, just because I think it makes it look a million times better. And as you can see, I'm just using my beauty blender to blend that out. So I'm going to be using these two outer colors. This first one is M-545 by Makeup Forever. And I don't know if these eyeshadows have been renamed yet, but all I have is the number. So I'm blending this out with a G24 brush by Morphe. A lot of this look is just a lot of building and blending, so I go in with this eyeshadow on the outer corner and blend it into my crease a couple of times to get the desired depth that I want. But you just have to remember, when you're doing any smoky neutral look even, you want to keep blending and blending and blending, because that's going to make it look the nicest. So then I'm going in with this other darker shade, which is a little bit more brown, and this one is M-600, and I'm focusing on the outer corner because, like I said, this is going to be more of a classic look. So I'm doing the kind of cat eye, and I'm starting out in the outer corner, as you can see here, and then I'm just blending it into the crease. And you want to make sure that you go all the way into the inner corner with this, but not down onto the lid. So to give myself a little bit more depth in that outer corner, I'm using a Sigma E25 brush, and I have a little bit of Makeup Geek's Corrupt, which is just a black matte eyeshadow, and I'm putting that in the outer corner and kind of fading that in a little bit. But I don't want this to be a black based smoky eye, so I just want this to blend in with the other colors and keeping it really low in the crease in the outer corner here. I don't want to blend it up too high so that it gets too dark or anything like that. So I'm not taking any additional product on the brush. I'm just like leaving the brush as what it was and blending that black out, because when you take in more black and try to blend it, then it just gets too messy. So I use one brush to place the black and then another brush to blend it. And don't mind my pin curls and robe. I was actually getting ready this day, so you can see what it's like when I get ready in the morning. This is exactly it. So again, more blending, and you just want to blend like crazy to get that really smoky classic look. So for the lid, I'm taking a flat synthetic hairbrush, and this one is just by Sephora, and I'm using MAC Blanc Type all over the lid. As you can see, I'm focusing really on the inner corner, and I'm fading that into the other colors. This just kind of opens up the eye a little bit more, makes that lid look a little bit more defined, brings it out, and makes your depth in your crease look even darker. So just to kind of clean up that black a little bit, I'm adding a little bit more where the white got over it, just to keep that depth like I want it. And more blending. Again, I don't have any additional product. I'm just blending out that crease to make sure that it looks very smoky and blended out. So I'm going in with the Tardiest Gel Liner, and I love the way that this applies. I just don't love that it's not as black as the Maybelline one, but that's okay. I'm using the E65 brush by Sigma, and if you guys want a liner video, like an entire video based on winged liner, because I do get a lot of questions about my eyeliner, then I can totally do that. But this is just a very classic liner. I'm keeping it thicker on the outer corner, and then I get really thin as I get towards the inner corner, because I really don't want the black to overpower. I want this to be very cat eye, and I want it to be very light on the inner corner. So some of you may know that I cannot see out of my left eye due to a birth defect, and although you can't tell, anytime I do any eyeliner or lashes on my right eye, it's very difficult because I can't close my right eye and still see. So that's why I'm going to be showing you the eyeliner on the eye that I can see out of, and this is just a quick, little version of the one that I can't, just because it's more of a struggle, and I'm kind of leaving this part in. So as you can see, when I put on false eyelashes, since I can't close my eye completely, I have to look down in the mirror, and it's quite the struggle. But I always tell my clients when they ask me oh, how do you do false eyelashes every day? How have you taught yourself to do that? And I always say, well, if I can do it and only see out of one eye, then you can definitely do it if you can see out of both of your eyes. So I'm just pressing on the inner corner and the outer corner with the tweezers, and then I kind of use my fingers to press it in. I used the Vegas Nay eyelash glue for this, and I'm not impressed really. I think it still looks white even by the end, it didn't dry totally clear. That could be my fault, I don't know, but I wasn't super impressed. And the lashes are the Vegas Nay Grand Glamour lashes. I will leave a link in the description box below because I wear these lashes all the time and I get so many questions on where to find them. I just get them at Ulta. So as you can see, doing it on my left eye is so much easier. So this is the L'Oreal True Match foundation in 5, and I'm just putting that all over and blending that in with a beauty blender. Since this is a liquid foundation, it blends better with a beauty blender rather than a brush, and as you can see, it doesn't match my skin tone. That is okay. It matches my neck because I self-tan, and I don't bother self-tanning my face since I wash my face and exfoliate my face so often. It's just a waste of product to even bother self-tanning my face. So I am matching my neck, and when I'm done it will look very even and distributed perfectly. So I'm just blending that in with the beauty blender. And for my under eye concealer, I'm using that same NARS concealer in vanilla, and I'm kind of just doing the typical triangle underneath of my eyes. I think this makes any makeup look 1,000 times better. If you do your under eye concealer correctly and you set it all right, then it's going to make whatever you do everywhere else look great, in my opinion. So I'm just evening out the highlight on the center of my face, and I'm blending that all out with the beauty blender. You really want to take your time and make sure you're pressing this into the skin because that's what's going to get this to last the longest. I think the way that I apply all of my makeup and the setting spray that I use is really what gets all of my makeup to last the longest. Most of my clients tell me that they can wear their makeup till the next day, even though I tell them to wash it off at night. They will, be up at 2 in the morning and say that their makeup's still just as good as when I applied it at 8 a.m. So I'm just going in with the Makeup Forever HD powder and setting that all over my face. And for my under eye setting powder, I'm using the Anastasia of Beverly Hills Banana Powder, and this is just a Sephora brush. I've recently changed the brush that I use to set my under eye, but this works just fine too. So for my brows, I have an entire brow video on my channel already. It's a little bit old, but it is very similar to how I currently do my brows, so I'm gonna skip over this. If you guys want an updated brow routine, please let me know, but like I said, there is one already on my channel. So for my bronzer, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Havana bronzer with, this is just a Morphe brush that came in one of their sets, and I'm not really doing specific contouring, but I'm just kind of bronzing the outside of my face and right underneath of my cheekbones. Since this look is very Victoria's Secret-esque, they are always very bronzy and very highlighted and glowy, so that's kind of what I was going for. I'm contouring down the sides of my nose just a little bit because once I do all that concealer and stuff, my nose kind of disappears. So I just bring a little bit of life back. I'm using those same 2 eyeshadows that I used in the beginning by Makeup Forever, and I'm just blending that on my lower lash line, which is kind of hard to film. And I'm using MAC Nylon as my brow highlight. Again, this is another just flat kind of smudgy brush by Morphe, and it came in that same set. I'm using the Makeup Forever Spellbound blush, and this is the Morphe G8 brush, which I think works really well for blush, and I'm just doing that on the outside. And this is a black eye kohl pencil. Any pencil works. I think this one's by Graftobian. I'm just lining my waterline and adding some mascara. This is the Big Eyes, I think it's called, mascara by Maybelline, and there's nothing really revolutionary about it, but it's kind of nice that you don't have to buy 2 mascaras for the wands, unless, I mean, you don't do that anyway, and I'm just really high maintenance. That could be the case. So this is the Champagne Pop that Jaclyn Hill created with Becca Cosmetics, and it is my absolute favorite highlighter of all time. I use it on all of my clients, and I highly, highly recommend it to anybody who's looking for a good highlighter. It's limited edition, and I don't even know if you can still find it, but if you can, get it, or get the Champagne Glow palette that Becca has created, which has Champagne Pop in it. So for my lips, this is Makeup Forever, kind of Makeup Forever theme today. Lip liner in 4C. Their lip liners are waterproof, are water resistant, and they're amazing, so that's why I tend to use them as the lip liners, because my lipstick lasts all day that way. And this is an Anastasia liquid lipstick in Pure Hollywood. I'm using that on a little thin lip brush to get a very precise application. I love this combination. It's a very good nude lip but still kind of pink combination. Definitely not a true nude, but I think it's really pretty. I'm just setting my face with the Scandinavia Bridal Setting Spray, and that is it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you try it, please tag me and let me know, and give me any ideas for other videos you would like to see. Thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome day.